ॐ विश्वं दर्पणदृश्यमाननगरी तुल्यन्निजान्तर्गतं पश्यन्नात्मनि मायया बहिरिवोद्भूतं यथा निद्रया यः साक्षात् कुरुते प्रबोधसमये स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयं तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये। बीजस्यान्तरिवाङ्कुरो जगदिदं प्राङ्निर्विकल्पं पुनः मायाकल्पितदेशकालकलना वैचित्रचित्रीकृतं मायावीव विजृम्भयत्यपि महायोगी वयस्वेच्छया तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये। तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः। ध्यानावस्थिततन्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः। देवाय तस्मै नमः। 26th verse। अथ चैनं नित्यजातं नित्यं वा मन्यसे मृतम् तथापि त्वं महाबाहो नैवं शोचितुमर्हसि। So अथ चैनं नित्यजातं एनम् आत्मानं नित्यजातं। If you take this atma to have a constant birth and constant death, even then, O Arjuna, O Mahabaho, O mighty armed, you should not grieve for the Atma in this manner. Evam means in this manner. You should not grieve in this manner. And we started what's the background of this verse? Because Bhagavan has completed the teaching in this last verse, in 25th verse. Bhagavan has completed that. But then Arjuna was, it seems that Arjuna has not appreciated this teaching pertaining to the self, the nature of the self, what Bhagavan has established. But Arjuna's, grief and it has not gone. His delusion also has not gone. So he might not have appreciated this knowledge, and therefore Bhagavan thought of now changing the pattern of giving a teaching. Some another prakriya, some another model has to be utilized in order to make him free from the grief. And the reason behind why he was not able to appreciate is because his mind was fully under the grief and delusion. And therefore even our mind, when it is under the grief or delusion, we are not able to appreciate in the class whatever has been told. The same situation has arisen for him, and he was already grieving. We have seen from in the verse, in the chapter 1 itself we have seen. And therefore he was not able to appreciate what was told in the last 15 verse 11 to verse 25. Verse 11 is the opening verse basically. Opening verse means, it is called, in Sanskritam it is called pratignya. Pratignya means, it's opening statement is what Bhagavan is going to prove. That if one has Atma Jnanam, one would not grieve, etc. And he wanted to prove that. But before that, he has to tell this in a opening statement that the Panditaha na anushochanti. Panditaha means Atma Jnani. The people who have this knowledge regarding the self, well, they do not grieve. So that's the opening statement. And then from verse 12 onwards, Bhagavan has started narrating this nature of the Atma, and constantly telling him also, we have supplied, that, well, therefore Arjuna, you should not grieve, therefore you should not grieve, etc., etc. But even after completing this verse 25, Bhagavan has definitely seen from his face that, well, his grief has not gone, and that is why he has thought of giving another method so that he can come out. And we have seen not only in terms of this, even in other emotions also, this is a thing always. When the person who is lustful, well, if you tell him to make him free from the lust, whatever advice you give, it doesn't work. And if the person is angry, if you tell him to come out of the anger, and you will show him, the various, lot of disadvantages. That if you keep this anger, or if you be angry, these are the advantages. Even if you say so, well, his anger would not go. So same way Arjuna's shoka and moha has not gone at all. And therefore, then what to do? Unless his shoka and moha won't go, well, he will not appreciate the teaching. And if he does not appreciate the teaching, if he doesn't understand the self, in a true sense, well, his shoka moha also won't go. So they are interdependent. Then ultimately Bhagavan thought of making him free from relatively from this shoka and moha. Bhagavan has said something else. And what Bhagavan said, Atha chainam nitya jatam nityam va manyase mritam manyase. If you believe so, that Atma is like this. What Atma is, which kind of Atma Arjuna believes? Arjuna believes that Atma has a constant birth and constant death. That's the reason of a grief. Well, if Bhishma's body will die, well, Bhishma, Atma also will die. Bhishma as a person also will die. Drona's body will die in this battlefield. Well, then Drona's Atma also will die. As a person he will die. That's what it is. So, Nitya Jatam, Nitya Mritam. And Bhagavan is here employing a method. That method is called Abhyupagama Vada. Abhyupagama Vada means you accept temporarily the opponent's view. It is not your view. Our view, Vedantin's view is Atma never dies, never born. We have seen also Ajo Nitya Shashvatoyam Purana, etc. So this is this is a belief of Arjuna. Bhagavan is accepting temporarily, and he is accepting that belief, and still Bhagavan is showing, even with your belief of Atma, which is you believe that it is constantly dying, and it has a constant birth and constant death, even with that also you should not grieve. So that way he wants to make him free from the grief, so that he will be able to appreciate what has been taught. Bhagavan's teaching he would be able to appreciate, and therefore Bhagavan is from the verse 26, he has changed the gear. Well, and what nitya jatam nityam mritam cha manyase. So if you believe, manyase, man dhatu means to believe. From there the word manyata has come. Manyata means belief. So if you believe so, that if you take this Atma to have a constant birth and death, still, well, you should not grieve. Naivam na evam shochitum arhasi. You should not grieve in this manner. The way he was grieving, it has been shown in the last verse in the chapter 1, and he sat down in the chariot, etc., etc., and leaving aside his bow and arrow and everything, and almost to cry. His face was about to cry. Anyway, so this is how it is. So evam, in this manner you should not grieve. That's what Bhagavan is telling. Now, Bhagavan says, if you believe that Atma is subject to constant birth and death, then whose belief it is? Is Arjuna's personal belief, or is there a system of philosophy which believes so? Then if you bring in the system of philosophy, there are 12 darshanas which I have told you. The systems of philosophy are 12, and now 6 are astikas, 6 are nastikas. 6 are astikas means basically Vedaha pramanam asti iti vadati saha astikaha. Veda is a means of knowledge. Not Veda is a means of knowledge how to cook a dal. That is not a means of knowledge for that. Veda is a means of knowledge for apaurushaya vishaya. Veda is a means of knowledge basically for apaurushaya vishaya, for devas, for punya papas, for atma, etc., etc. And all this, for that Veda is a pramanam, because that one cannot figure out. Any human being cannot figure out himself whether this particular karma has given rise to punyam or papam. Nobody can figure out. You will never know. Whatever sharp eyes you have, but still you will never know that punya has arisen. I have seen punya with this Swamiji. I was listening this your talk, and the Shastra listening give rise to punya, and so I am seeing the punya is generated in this 1 hour. It is never. And therefore, for such things, the pramanam is Veda, the words of the Veda. Somebody asked me in New Jersey, I think a few months ago, perhaps Prabodh Bhai may be knowing. One person asked me while we were taking food that Swamiji, the words of the Veda also written by whom? Because it sounds familiar to you. Therefore, it is written by basically a human being. And therefore, why don't you take it as that this is Paurushaya? Because if the words are basically written by a human being, and then you say words are a means of knowledge, but then that is a human being's words, and therefore Veda also is Paurushaya. Well, that's not so. I had told him, this person, that what the subject matter is, you and me are talking about something, let's say. What is our talk? Can we talk about the nature of a Devata, etc.? Can we talk about the forms of the Devata? Can we talk about the nature of Atma, etc.? Yeah, he said we can talk about. I said, what is the basis? What is the basis? If you and me know Veda, then from the Veda we are able to say. But otherwise, when two human beings meet together, what is their subject matter? Subject matter will be worldly matter. World is a matter. Well, and therefore, this is something apaurushaya. And therefore, basically, the subject matter, you should see the subject matter. The subject matter is apaurushaya, and therefore, the words are apaurushaya. Even though it looks that you are familiar with the words. I am sure even a Sanskrit Pandita also is not familiar with the words of the Veda. It is entirely a different thing. It's a different gamut. A simple verse in the Durga Suktam, the first line itself, if you ask me what is the meaning, I could not tell you at this moment. Om Jata Vedase Sunavama Soma Marati Yato Nidahati Vedahat Sanaf Parshadati Durgani Vishwa Naveva Sindhun Durita Tyagni. So, what is the meaning? I don't know. Well, that is how it is. And therefore, but Swamiji, you may not be knowing, but other Sanskrit Pandita may be knowing. Nobody knows. Ultimately, basically, you need a Niruktam, Vedic dictionary, etc., and you will be able to find. And still, even if you find certain words familiar to you, but ultimately the subject matter is basically apaurushaya. What Veda talks about, two human beings can figure out independently. So, but it is in our culture, the words in our culture, Vedas are already, imbibed into our culture, and that's how we take for granted Punya, Papa, Devata, etc. We keep on talking, but it has the basis in Veda only. Anyway, this is by the way. So, from where this belief has come? So, whose Siddhanta it is? And then I told you this out of the 12 darshanas, and we have to figure out, and from which, Arjuna belongs to which Siddhanta? Arjuna is a Charvaka, Arjuna is a Vedanti, Arjuna is a Karmakandi, which, what is that? And we have told, I have told you yesterday, see, the Astika Darshanams, they are Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Mimamsa and Sankhya. And Yoga also, Sankhya and Yoga go together. Like we and Karmakandis go together, like that. We both are called Vedikas. And this Nayayika, Vaisheshika, Mimamsa, they are not Vedikas. Because for them, Veda is not a Mula Pramanam. It's a principal means of knowledge. For them, their brain is, or their own logic is a means of, primary means of knowledge. And this is subsidiary. This is subservient to that principal means of knowledge. Veda for them is a subservient. Anyway, and therefore Nayayika, Vaisheshika, Mimamsa and even Sankhya, they are all, in Bhashakara's language, they are Tarkika, because for them, Tarka or a logic is a primary means of knowledge. And even Yoga also, of course, Yoga don't have their own philosophy. Yoga is just a practice. The philosophy given by the Sankhya's, if you put into practice, you become a yogi. That's how it is. And therefore, Sankhya's talk about Purusha and Prakriti, independent. Purusha and Prakriti both are independent too, and Prakriti creates everything. Purusha is a Sangha, Purusha is a Bhokta, etc., etc. They all talk about like this. Well, how to know that I am just a Purusha? If I know the Purusha, independent of which is independent of the Prakriti, I get moksha. Purusha is a conscious way, and the Prakriti is the inert thing. So, you have to dissociate yourself from Prakriti. What has happened is Prakriti and Purusha has mixed together, even though both are independent entities, they have as though mixed up together. And so you have to dissociate yourself from Prakriti. Ultimately, in the Samadhi, Nirvikalpa Samadhi, the Purusha only remains. Well, and if in Samadhi you will know yourself as a mere Purusha, and that's how you get a moksha. That's how they believe. Yoga don't have their own philosophy. Yoga have a practice. That's the practices of Ashtanga Yoga, Patanjali has described. So anyway, and therefore all these people are Tarkika, but we and Mimamsakas are Vedikas. We gave importance. Most important for us as a means of knowledge is Veda. It's a primary means of knowledge for us. Anyway, but in Astika Darshanam, nobody has this belief. Nitya Jatam, Nitya Mritam. Nobody believes this. Because Nitya Jatam, Nitya Mritam means it is constant, it has a constant birth and constant death. Means it is Anityam. Atma is Anityam. Nobody believes this. And therefore Atma is Nitya. That's a common philosophy for all the six. And then in Nastika Darshanam, well, it looks that they believe so. If it looks, so we have to analyze. So Astikas we are not analyzing now. We are analyzing Nastika Darshanam only. Who believes so? That Atma is having a constant birth and constant death. And our first one I told you, and Nastika Darshanam are six, I have told you already. And one is, the first one is basically our Charvakas, the materialistic people. Material is the only thing. Material is available for perception. That's the reality of the everything. There is nothing more real than this material. Because more than perception, we cannot give a weightage to any other means of knowledge. That's available to the human being. And therefore, what you see is just a matter. And that matter only is a reality. That's called materialistic people. And for them, the goals are also material goals. Artha and Kama. They don't believe in Dharma. Dharma means you have to believe something beyond perception. There is a universal order, and then Punya Papa. If you say Dharma means Punya and Adharma means Papa, all this Punya Papa means it is not available for perception. Well, then they won't believe. They won't believe this. And therefore, anyway, so the first Nastika Darshanam is a Charvaka Darshanam, materialistic people. And the second darshanam is Bauddhas, all four Bauddhas, Shunyavadi, Kshanikavadi, etc., etc. And the third one, that's 4 and 1. 4 Bauddhas, 4 types of Bauddhas, and one is Charvaka, and this one is Jainas. Jainas also basically Nastikas, because they don't believe in Veda. They throw away the Vedas. Whatever Veda says, they don't believe. They are Nirishwarvadis. They don't believe in Ishvara also. They don't believe in creation at all. It's a sabha. This creation, it is like this. It keeps going like this. That's a sabhava of a creation, the world, universe. Don't think somebody has created and all this, and therefore there is a creator called Ishvara. No. There is nothing like that. The universe has a sabhava of evolving all the time, and it is keep on evolving, etc., etc. Their definition of jivas also is entirely different, etc. Jiva is basically impure by the impurity called karma. So all the karmas are attached to these jivas, and so he has to pluck out all the karmas, etc. And all these kind of things are there. Anyway, but the Jainas, and when the time comes, I will talk more about these Jainas. But anyway, right now. So these 6 Nastika Darshanas are there, and in that the Charvakas, well, definitely, as I told you, Charvakas don't believe more than this physical body. They don't think there is they say physical body is a conscious, and therefore physical body is Atma. Atma is conscious, we accept that, okay, but physical body itself is conscious, available for perception, and therefore physical body is Atma. There is nothing called Sthula Sharirat Vyatiriktaha Atma. No. If there is some consciousness distinct from this gross body, etc. Well, even they don't believe in subtle body. By the way, I forgot to tell you yesterday, they don't believe in subtle body also, because subtle body is not available for perception. We have already discussed this. Subtle body is available for inference. All the indriyas are atindriyas. I have told you day before yesterday or yesterday, I don't remember. So they are atindriyas. You cannot perceive your own sense organ. Eyes themselves you cannot see. Eyes can see everything other than itself. Ears can hear everything other than itself. And therefore, how to prove the indriya then? By inference. Since my ears are able to pick up the sound, therefore ear is there. That's how you have to say. Anuman. Anyway, what I am saying is, so even they don't believe in inference also. This Charvakas, for them, whatever is seen, that's a reality. And therefore, physical body only is a reality. Gross body is only reality. That alone is Atma, and etc. etc. Runam krutva agritam pibet, etc. I have told you. And the 2 Purusharthas are there by which you can keep your body comfortable, and you have a pleasure in your life. And that is these 2 Purusharthas, Artha and Kama, or Purushartha. That's this sutra has been given by their guru. By the way, Charvaka's guru is a Brihaspati. That's a story behind that. Anyway, Charvaka's guru is a Brihaspati, and Brihaspati has given this sutra. Like our Brahma Sutras are there, they have given a sutra to Charvakas. Artha Kamo Dvau Purusharthau. There are only 2 goals in the life. One is Artha, means earn money, earn some wealth, and Kamaha, with the wealth you spend wealth and get pleasures. But that's all. There is nothing more than that in this life. Now don't think about taking birth and all that, and the Atma is there, Jivatma is there, and leave this body and going to another body. All this is cock and bull story created by all these Brahmins. One person told me in Bombay, several years ago also, he told me this way, that all this way, I feel, he says, well, at that time I was not a Swami, but he told me with calling with a name, and he said, well, I feel the entire Veda is created by these Brahmins, and all these karmas and punya papas and all this, they have made a beautiful imagination, and so that they can exploit the people, they can take away a lot of money. Said you do this karma because that's a good thing for the next life, etc. Or if you want some kind of a prayashchittam, you have done something in the past, not in this life but in the previous life, and that's how you are suffering right now, and therefore you do carry on this, and these are the karmas in the Veda, and therefore if you do, you will be free from the papam, etc., and they get away dakshina and all that. And therefore he says all the shastras basically, he said, because Brahmins would like to rule over the society, so people, they will come to them, etc., etc. Anyway, so this artha and kama are purushartha basically. And then I told you, when we started looking for where are these charvakas, I mean, the part of the charvaka is residing in me itself. Part of charvaka is here. I mean, yes, the Swami, we are looking here. So I am astika and even nastika also, charvaka also. Because in my life, the four purusharthas are there. Because I give a pramanyam to Veda. So dharma and moksha, karmakanda, I mean, through karmakanda, what is the goal? Dharma. Through Vedanta, what is the goal? Moksha. But dharma and moksha are the goals established by the Veda. And therefore, I being astika, I definitely feel that yes, in my life there is a goal of dharma and there is a goal of moksha also. At the same time, I would like to run my life or my family's life, etc., etc. And therefore, artha and kama also will be my goals, right? I have to earn money and this, etc. Now, in these two groups of goals, what's a prime goal for you? Well, depends upon that. If you say artha and kama are predominant, well, I am a more charvaka than the astika. If dharma and moksha are predominant in my life compared to this, if they are subservient, well, in that case, basically I am astika. And therefore, everyone basically, let's not look in this society, where are these nastikas, where are these charvakas. In our personality, astika nastikam is there. Astika nastikam is there. Depending on, somebody pure astika means pure astika. Well, pure astika means in his life, moksha is the only goal. And for moksha, to get a qualification for a moksha, to get jnanam, well, dharma is the only means, not arthakama. Dharma is the only means to purify yourself. That's a part of yoga. Well, yoga and jnanam, and therefore two subject, in the subject matter of the Bhagavad Gita, these two things are there. Yoga Shastra, Brahma Vidya. Yoga Shastra means basically dharma. Dharma means which purifies you, so that you will be freed from raga dvesha and you will be appreciate the nature of Atma as it is. You can gain the knowledge. And dharma and moksha is a predominant in somebody's life. In his activity, he follows dharma. He doesn't discard arthakama. Please understand that, because he has to run his life. There is no free meal or free lunch in the world. Even if Swami is fed, somebody is paying. And therefore, there is no free lunch. And therefore, if one has to sustain one's life, and therefore arthakama will be there. But he gives a priority to dharma. He would not seek arthakama at the cost of dharma moksha. Definitely not. And therefore, he is this person for whom the primary goal is a moksha, and to gain the eligibility for moksha, dharma also is a purushartha. Such a person only is called astika. Vedaha pramanyam asti iti vadati saha astikaha. Asti. Vedaha pramanyam asti. Veda is a means of knowledge. Means of knowledge for what? For dharma and moksha. And therefore, if Veda says, I am taking it seriously, these are the goals, and well, I can understand also these are the only goals, and therefore arthakama is just to sustain myself. One who has this mode of mind, he is a pure astika. But other than that, yo-yo. Other than that, everything is yo-yo. And it happens so. Kshanardhenapi tulaye na swargam na punarbhavam bhagavat sangi sangasya martyanam kimutashisha. Kshanardhenapi tulaye. Even for half a moment, if I get a satsanga, well, it cannot be compared with this heaven and other pleasures. So much importance has been shown for this satsanga, etc. Well, and therefore this person listens to that and he feels, yeah, that's correct. But he has come for a satsanga. He is sitting in the class and a mobile has rang, and then somebody said, why don't you come? There is an important meeting. If you attend, you will also get some benefit. I'm telling you. You come down. Will not this meeting will not be there afterwards. We will not be able to, you will miss opportunity. I'm telling you. And the person says you will be missing an opportunity. This person says satsanga will be there all the time. Nothing to worry. Even this recording etc. also is there. Not to worry. We can listen later. So given priority to Arthakama, well, then definitely Charvaka is sitting here. Charvaka is sitting right here. Don't try to find anywhere in the world. So Nastika Astika, basically. So even in our daily activity, puja is a dharmic, that's a religious practice. People generally give up. For small reason, people give up class, people give up puja, everything. Easily they give up. Very first things which is sacrificed in a waking state for this person is a religious activity. And for the sake of this Arthakama, for the sake of this. And therefore, he is more a Charvaka. Well, he believes Dharma, Moksha, everything he believes. But he gives a priority to Arthakama. To that extent, I am a Charvaka. And anyway, so what I am saying is, basically, anyway, our Arjuna belongs to which group? Now that's a question. Arjuna belongs to which group? Arjuna is not a Vedantin, definitely. Otherwise, why should Bhagavan teach? Why should Bhagavan teach? If he is a Vedantin, if he knows the nature of the self, he should not teach all this Nanu Shochanti Panditaha. Bhagavan said that Panditaha, the people who know the Atma, they do not grieve. This fellow is grieving and therefore he is not a Vedantin. Definitely not. He will become Vedantin at the end of chapter 18. That's a different matter. And he is not a Charvaka also, because Charvakas don't believe in Dharma, Adharma, etc. And Arjuna believes so. Dharmenashte kulam krusam, etc. I told you. So this Charvakas do not believe in Dharma, Adharma, etc. Arjuna believes, so he is not a Charvaka. Other than that also, and he says Patanti Pitaro Hyesham Lupta Pindo Dakakriyaha Narake Niyatam Vasaha Bhavati Ityanu etc. And all the ancestors are there and we have to give them obsequies. And therefore, well, if we won't offer this obsequies, and then they will fall to this Naraka, etc. Charvaka won't believe anything like this. Charvakas, for them, there are no ancestors. And living this body, they are there somewhere in Pitru Loka, etc. He doesn't, they don't believe so. And definitely, therefore, our Arjuna is not Charvaka. And then definitely, well, we can say then other dharmika, our Nastikas, Bauddhas, they believe the Atma is a subject to constant birth and death. They believe so. Especially Kshanik Vijnanis. They believe that at every moment a new Atma is born and gone. In the next moment it is gone. Then another Atma is born, it is gone. Nitya Jatam, Nitya Mrutam. And Bauddhas also believe in Swarga and Naraka. Bauddhas also believe in Dharma, Adharma in their own way. And therefore, Arjuna, I think, fits into, he must be a Bauddha. Under the influence of, at that time, 5,000 years ago, he might have been under the influence of Buddha. Well, Bauddhas have not come before 5,000 years ago. Buddha has come much later. But that kind of a thinking he may be having. Let's not call him a Bauddha. Let's not brand him as a Bauddha. But he may have such kind of a belief, even without being a Bauddha. Well, no. How can you say no? Because a one word in the first verse, what that he uttered, that proves that he is not a Buddha. Lupta Pinda Udaka Kriya. These Buddhas do not believe in this Pinda and Udaka Kriya and all the Shraddha, Tarpana, etc. They don't believe. And therefore, definitely, Arjuna believes that. That was one of his argument against not, going for a war, not fighting. That these people will lose their lives, and then all this, who will offer this, this waters, and who will offer this Pinda and everything. Because the person, the male person, all itself is not there. Generally, all this, all our religious practices, and the male has to be there. she also sits, but then male has to be there. He generally does, and she touches his husband, her husband. And therefore, if these people who are gathered here in this war, if they are going to die, this is a Kshatriya war, then who will do in their homes all this obsequies, etc.? Who will do that? So he believes that. I mean, he's a Sanatan. I mean, that's basically in Sanatan Dharma, and therefore definitely we cannot tell that Arjuna is a Bauddha. And also, and this Kshanika Vijnanam also we have to look little closely. This Kshanika Vijnanam is in which every moment new Atma is born. Every moment. And it dies next moment. And new Atma is born. Dies. New Atma is born. Well, that is, so every moment, this Vijnanam, they call it a Vijnanam, but Vijnanam is nothing but our Prajnanam or Atma alone. We use also one word Vijnanam. Vijnanam Anandam Brahma. In Brihadaranyaka, that is a statement. So Vijnanam you say, Jnanam you say, Prajnanam you say, whatever you want to say. So say every moment this Vijnanam or Atma is new. Well, that is not the belief. So it looks as though Atma is one. Because every moment, within moment, it is born and then gone, born and gone. Then you feel definitely that is one Atma, but it is not. That's how Buddhas believe. Like, the film is there. In the theaters, there is actually a frame. And frames are constantly running fast. Then you feel that there is oneness. You will feel the constancy. Anyway, so basically, well, that's not Arjuna believes so. Arjuna believes not every moment new Atma is born. And therefore, because if he says then the ancestors, he says the people who have died and now they all are ancestors and they are in a Pitruloka, etc. And we have to offer them. Well, that shows the one who has left this body. I mean, the Jiva is one who survives the body. Definitely should be there. But there is a confusion. And then Shunyavadis also we cannot say Sarvam Shunyam Shunyam. Well, Arjuna was not thinking like everything is Shunyam. Anyway, so whatever it is, what I am saying in Nastika Darshanam, we have to think that Arjuna does not belong to the category of Charvakas, Arjuna does not belong to the category of Bauddhas, Arjuna does not fit into the category of Astikas also, even though he says like that we have to offer our obsequies, etc. to this. But still, when he sees the person is dying, I mean the body is dying, he feels the person is dying. And therefore, this is a general mistake which is occurring in the society. He is as though representing this. All the people, they believe this, that in this body there is a Atma called Jiva, but definitely, and that Jiva is alive till this body is alive, and when the body dies, the Jiva, which is like a lamp, gets extinguished, and then when he gets a new body, the body is like a new wick, and then what is the oil? The oil is this, our own mind is the oil, and then in the new body, well, again the same lamp arises. I mean the same lamp is lighted, and so it has. So basically, even though, and so Jiva is like a lamp, and therefore, or otherwise also, there is another belief also. This body looks a conscious, right? Body looks a conscious. So body dies, this consciousness dies, which is pervading this body. Right now, my body is, some people, body is alive or body is conscious. Body is alive and conscious. Alive is because of the prana, and conscious because we know very well the consciousness has pervaded. But that is due with the help of this Vedanta, we can say that one consciousness has pervaded through the thought, I thought, everywhere it has pervaded, etc. But otherwise, the body looks a conscious, which is called Chetana. Sangatas Chetana Dhrutihi. Bhagavan also used this word Chetana. So body looks conscious, and when the prana goes away, when the body becomes dead, even this consciousness also, which is pervading this body, dies. and the consciousness which pervades this body, well, that alone is the jiva. The jiva has pervaded the body, and that is the thing, and therefore body dies, this consciousness dies. That kind of a general notion is there. And and in the I mean, if in a when the prarabdha is over, prarabdha is considered as basically like a flow of air, and in that flow of air, when the flame gets extinguished, then you again light up the lamp, you feel it is the same lamp. It is the same lamp. Well, and therefore, because you see, every moment a new flame arises, that you know very well. Otherwise, how will the oil gets consumed? The oil is consumed means every moment a new flame arises. But you never say that every moment new flame arises. You feel there is a constancy. There is a constancy. And therefore, this is how it is. The flame which has arisen has gone. Flame which has arisen has gone. But anyway, so in this body, the consciousness has pervaded, which is jiva. That's an individual. And so as the body dies, the consciousness also dies. A new body comes, then the same consciousness, which is jiva, appears there like a new like the same lamp which is lighted again. And therefore, this is general belief which is pervading in the society, that body dies, person dies. That has been told here. So nitya jatam means the body is born, and then the jiva also is born. And nitya mritam, when body dies, this person also dies. That's a general belief without inquiry. Swamiji, how can this? But this is how it is. At the time of, if you see the occasion of a death, then definitely you will see this particular belief only, as if jiva is also dead. Body is dead, jiva is dead. Body has taken a birth, well, jiva also has taken a birth. So we say also jiva is born, etc. also, and therefore this jiva is dead also. We say like that. Well, all this usage is indicate that there is a general belief in the society, and Arjuna represents as though this belief. And so Bhagavan is addressing through Arjuna this belief system. And it has nothing to do with either Astika or Nastika. Astika never say like this. Atma is born, constantly born, Atma is constantly dying, etc. Well, it was never been told by Astikas. Nastikas don't believe at all this. And even Bauddhas, etc., what they believe is every moment new birth of Atma. Even in this body right now, every moment a new birth of Atma takes place, and next moment it dies, then another new Atma is born, like that they say. But then we say, why it looks constant? He said, because the momentary, even though it is momentary, but it is very fast, and so you feel that it is just a constantly one Atma alone. That's their argument. Anyway, so with this, so Bhagavan is addressing to this belief system, and Bhagavan is explaining to him, oh Arjuna, this particular lamp called jiva, it never extinguishes. Why? Na hanyate hanyamane sharire. Even though this body, is is killed, still it doesn't. This the flame does not get extinguished. This lamp does not get extinguished, etc. And and therefore, because the Swarupa has been very clearly told by Bhagavan, but still he did not follow, and therefore Bhagavan has thought that let me take his own belief system, and in which he feels that Drona and Bhishma are really going to die. Well, their bodies are dying. If he is not able to accept, appreciate, and he may be feeling that even the persons, the conscious beings, are also subject to death, then I will take him away from the grief by taking his belief and explaining him. That's how it has been told here. And but why one should not have a grief if Atma is constantly, to have Atma has a constant birth and a constant death? Why we should not grieve? Because basically it has become its second nature. What is see, like the lamp which has this nature. It gets lighted and it extinguishes. Then again you gets lighted, extinguishes. That happens, and therefore you don't feel grief about it. Its nature like that. And not only that, like in the people, suppose somebody in our home becomes sick, then we definitely run here and there in order to make him cure from this illness. But suppose that after that illness, he remains ill for years, as though illness has become his second nature. I tell you, you will also leave the person as it is. The first time you run around, you take him to the hospital and you show and all this, then you feel that this is all the time it will be there, and therefore you also now don't attend too much. This is how it is. And the person himself also starts accepting that this illness will not go. I will give you another example. Suppose a person has met with an accident and his leg has broken. Very serious fracture. And he, of course, definitely the people, the relatives, run here and there, and they become anxious also. Everything is there. And definitely then 2-3 months they take care and he comes out and he is all right now. But the person, suppose in their family, suppose a child is born. From the birth itself, he could not walk. One leg is defective and he could not walk. Will you be so anxious? Initially for few days you will be anxious. Later on you accept it as it is. That this is the sabha. This lameness is his second nature. You accept it. And the person also accepts. You, the relatives also accept it, and the person also accepts. I will give you one very funny example. What happened is, one Swami, he has a lot of disciples, and for many years nothing happened, but suddenly he started getting headache. And when first time headache has occurred, oh my God, all the devotees, as thousands of advice, not only advice, somebody had made some kind of a thing, the other person has made something, someone has called a doctor and everything. Then after 15 days, the first time when it occurred, lots of devotees were around. Then next time it occurred, few of them. After 15 days, another time occurred, few of them. And after that, again, then it started, not after fortnightly, it has started weekly. Then it has started within 3 days. And all the devotees vanished slowly. Why they vanished? When the first time it occurred, all the devotees became anxious. All were grieving as though. And after few such occasions, now there is no grief. There is no attending the Swami, etc. Even Swami also has started accepting that this headache will be there. It won't go. So, on the part of Swami and on the part of devotees, the grief has as though gone. Why? Why? Because you have accepted that is the nature of Swami's head. And therefore, so once it becomes as natural that this is how it is, then you don't grieve. Same way, Atma is, suppose, has a nature of constantly taking birth and dying. Taking birth, dying. Taking birth, dying. You will accept it, that this is its nature. Then where is the grief? Where is the grief? Whenever you accept a particular thing, that this kind of an occurrence is going to be there, it has become as though the nature of that thing. Well, in that case, there is no grief. There is no grief. And therefore, even if you say, Arjuna, that Atma is constantly, getting a birth or constantly getting a death, well, then definitely, for which death you will cry? Which death? Suppose a death which is new, definitely you cry for it. But death is something which is all the time there. Therefore, for which death now you cry? There is no first death for which you cry, because it is all the time occurring. And therefore, with your understanding also, well, sorry, we should not grieve. And with your understanding, with your belief that Atma is constantly taking birth. Let's accept that the body dies, person dies, and then he is going to get a new body. Then like a flame, again it is going to appear. The person appears there. Here it has died. It has gone. He has gone, and then he has appeared again. Then and then again that body has also gone, and then that person has gone, and then another body he gets. Then that person is born again. Even if it is so, there is a question of grief, because it's the nature of the person to be born and to be gone. That's how it is. And this looks very practical, because in our daily experience we see that even with any other kind of illness or this, well, initially you may feel and you may grieve, later on you accept it as it is. The person also accepts who has illness, and the relatives around also accepts. How do you know, Swamiji, they accept it? They start now earlier they were taking a lot of care of the person. Slowly they vanish. Slowly. That shows they have taken for granted that this is going to occur. No grief. Even if they talk to others about your son's illness, suppose that is your son's illness. Even now, earlier you were having a grief, but now, because since many years he is ill, now you talk about to others, but you don't have a sign of grief over the face. You may definitely talk, but you don't have a sign of grief. You have accepted it as a second nature of your son's, the illness is a second nature of your son. Well, in that case, well, no, there is no grief. Hey Mahabaho. Well, we can understand if the people are, other people, common people can have this. But you are Mahabaho. Well, definitely, you should not grieve for even this situation. We can take this much. This is enough in this verse. Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityuhu dhruvam janma mrutasya cha tasmad apariharyerthe natvam shochitum arhasi. Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityuhu. So let's see the meaning. Jatasya, of that which is born. Then mrityuhu dhruvaha hi. Mrityuhu means death. Dhruvaha hi means is certain, is definite. He means indeed. For that which is born, death is definite or certain. Then mritasya cha, and of that which is dead, janma dhruvam hi. This janma also will be definite. For that which is dead, birth is also certain. Then what is said? Tasmad apariharyerthe natvam shochitum arhasi. Tasmat, therefore, apariharye arthe, with reference to a situation which you cannot change. Parihara means you can do something, you can change. That's how parihara and prayashchita, I will talk about it later. And so means that prayashchita or parihara, we use a word in order to change the situation. Some situation has come in your life, and definitely it's an obstacle. Then they say you do prayashchitam. Prayashchitam means what? You can change the situation. That's how it is. That's called prayashchita karma also. Anyway, so parihara or prayashchita is one thing, same thing. It has the same meaning. So apariharye arthe, with reference to aparihara means which you cannot change. Apariharye arthe, with reference to this unchanging situation which you cannot change. Tvam shochitum na arhasi. Tvam means you. Shochitum means you should not grieve. Shochitum, always with tumun, there will be arhasi, will be there with the tumun. That's shochitum, shuch dhatu plus tumun pratyaya. Well, that's a particular kind of a participle. And with that tumun, they always use this arhasi. Arhasi means to be deserved. I mean, that's a meaning. Also here it is it should, etc. So tvam shochitum na arhasi, you should not grieve, etc., etc. You don't deserve to have a grief, etc. That's what it wants to say. So for that which is born, death is certain, and for that which is dead, birth is certain. And so you should not grieve over that which cannot be changed. That's what Bhagavan is telling now. And so jatasya, and jatasya means this jan dhatu is there. Jan dhatu, and there is a past passive participle, jatam. Jan means to be born, and jatam means born, which was already born. And that's how it is. So jatasya, we will see the meaning, I think, tomorrow. It's already 5:11. So we'll talk about some yoga shastra also, and some other things, some other philosophers we have to bring into, and we have to refute them also. So we'll see that tomorrow. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.